This video is for you if you want to achieve your dream body. You want to feel confident in your clothes, you want to feel comfortable in front of the camera, whether you've had children or not, you want to feel confident in that bikini on holiday, but you want to do it in a way that feels good. You want to do it so that you want to actually take action towards your goals. You want to move your body, you want to eat the healthier food, you want to reduce the pressure and have a little bit less of this like hustle and grind culture and kind of like feeling behind your weight loss goals, and you want to be able to actually stick to it long term. I know often like in the weight loss world, and I've tried really hard not to position myself in that place, because for me it's very much about achieving my dream life in a way that is sustainable, and part of that happened to be achieving my dream body. It's been on my goal board for a really long time. I finally have achieved it, and I want to explain how I was able to do it by shifting my mindset. It really wasn't about pressure tactics. It wasn't about like go, 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 hustle harder, do more, because all that's going to do is burn you out. We've all done it before, especially this time of year, especially in January, where we're like, right, I need to go all out. I'm going to do 10,000 steps. I'm going to eat this much protein. I'm going to eat 1,000 calories, only to burn out, run out of willpower. I spoke about it on my other video. Only to end up back in the same place starting again on Monday. So I want to give you some very practical tools. I want this video to be super short so you can actually just walk away from the video and start doing something different in your life and start seeing results. So I want to give you some really easy ways to start embodying this new version of you. I want this to feel like a shift in your identity, not something that you have to force yourself to do. I want this to feel like the new version of you. Of course, she chooses these things. So I'm gonna give you some easy steps to follow. First of all, we're gonna just start with releasing the pressure. I want you to just take a deep breath, in through your nose, out through your mouth. Do it with me. Tummy should go out, as if you're breathing out a straw. Let's just do one more. I want you to sink into the chair, whatever you're doing, feet sinking into the floor. Shoulders drop. I want your like face to like relax. Just take some pressure off yourself, right? If you're a woman, if you're a mum, you feel like you're working all the hours, you're doing everything for everybody else, you're filling up everybody else's cup, your cup is empty. Yet here you are, still showing up because you still want to achieve your goals. You want the money, the lifestyle, the house, the family. You want to be the best parent, you want the best body, you want to feel confident. You want it all, right? I know how exhausting that can feel. So first of all, I just want to acknowledge how amazing you're doing, and I see you and I know you're tired. This video isn't going to add to your plate. I want this to be a shift, not something you have to do, okay? So just release that pressure. Just like allow that pressure kind of just like wash away from you. I want you to like imagine you're like having the shower or something, or you're like in the rain, and all of that pressure is just washing away, right? This is not something else that we have to do. This is not another thing to add to your to-do list to tick off, okay? We're shifting into something else, we are not adding. So just let it go, shake it out if you need to. All this pressure that you're holding on to yourself, do some tapping if you feel like it might help. All this pressure that we're putting on ourselves, I want you to just let go. Like, you are absolutely perfect the way you are. You are absolutely amazing the way you are. Like, nothing has to change in this moment. And this is all about the law of detachment, which if you want a video on this, I can do this. But like when we're manifesting something, when we want to create something new, it's about letting go. It's about releasing the need to have this thing, because the more we need something, the more we hold on to something, we're putting it in a chokehold. And it's the same with your weight loss. It's the same with your dream body. It's the same with the goals that you have around how you want to look and feel. If you are so desperate for this thing that every time you're getting dressed, every time you look in the mirror, every time you go swimming with your kids, you're like holding on to this need of like, I'm not good enough. And you can feel it, right? You can hear it because it's a constant in your mind. It's as if someone's got this playing on a loop. I look awful. I really let myself go. I can't believe I'm like this. Look at her. Doesn't she look amazing? I can't believe she's got 3 kids and that's her body. How does she do it? I'm doing something wrong. I'm not doing enough. That's it. Tomorrow, I'm back on the diet. That's it. No more chocolate. I'm binning it all. No more takeaways. I'm going to talk to my partner tonight. No more takeaways. And yet, if that worked, if that constant pressure, if that constant nagging in our minds, if this constant beating ourselves up, if that worked, wouldn't you already have the thing? Wouldn't you already have the dream body, the dream house, the dream car, whatever it might be? If that worked. There is this part of us that thinks if we can just put more pressure, if we can just push ourselves harder, if we can just judge ourselves a little bit more and compare a little bit more, then maybe finally that will be enough to make me move. However, because our brain is trying to keep us safe, I speak about this all the time, it's actually going to avoid the thing that feels painful. So if going on a diet feels painful, it's going to avoid it. It's going to procrastinate, you're going to self-sabotage. If restricting, because now you're saying, right, I'm never going to eat chocolate ever again, that feels painful. I love chocolate. So the idea of never having it again breaks my heart. So what do you think is going to happen? My subconscious mind is going to go, no way are we doing that. That is so uncomfortable, so painful. What, I have to go for dinner with my friends and order a salad and no dessert? Absolutely not. So we're going to procrastinate, we're going to self-sabotage. So release the pressure, release the attachment, and I promise this moment alone will make you feel so much better about your goals, right? Is it going to feel nice to have your dream body? Yes. Are you going to feel more confident? Probably. You know, is it going to feel good? Absolutely. But what I want you to know, and the point of this part, why you can't skip this part, is that you are worthy right now. You are beautiful right now. You are perfect the way you are. That thing is nice to have. It is not a need. Right? Think about the things that we need. We need water, we need food, we need sleep, right? Those are things that we need in order to survive. You don't need to be thin, okay? That is a nice extra. So we're going to completely detach and we're going to love ourselves regardless of the outcome. Because also if we are attaching self-worth on the end goal, you can see how this links with money, right? And business and everything. If we attach a need to the end goal, we're saying we're not worthy until we are skinny. So right now we are nothing. We're not worthy. We're not important. We're not pretty enough, clever enough, smart enough, whatever it might be. We are not enough until we have this thing, the money, the house, the car, the relationship, the body, right? And that is just not true. And I promise you are never going to manifest anything long-term or anything of substance if you are going after a goal from a place of lack. I'm telling you now, I was at my lowest point. I hit breaking point with my body, but I chose to change out of self-respect. I chose to change because I loved myself enough to change. Because that version of me, right, she wasn't loving herself, obviously. She wasn't loving herself. And so I was just eating when I was emotional. I was eating to try and regulate my nervous system. I spoke about this in another video. I was eating because I was like, what's the point? I'm never going to look like her anyway, so I might as well just eat. And so I had like lost respect for myself and I wasn't fueling myself properly. So when we take this shift into, and it's just a mindset shift, you can decide to shift right now, right? Once I shifted into, you know what, I actually love myself enough to change. I care about my body enough to know what I'm putting in it. I care that I'm filling it full of chemicals and toxins. I care that I don't have enough energy to get out of bed and play with my son in the morning. I care that I'm running late for the school run every morning because I'm so exhausted because I've been eating rubbish that I then can't get up in the morning. I love myself enough that I need to get back into the gym. So this is my current goal because I want to be able to run after my kid because he's learnt to ride his bike and I can't keep up because I'm out of breath. Okay, so it's about shifting from like this need to I get to and I want to and my body deserves better and I deserve better, and that's why I'm going to make these changes. Okay, the second thing is embodiment. So how would this new version of you act, dress, talk, feel? How would she show up differently? What conversations would she be having differently? And this you can catch every single day. So this is why it's not an extra thing on your to-do list, because this is just something that you're doing every day, okay? How are you dressing? So for me before, it was, I would only wear leggings and a baggy t-shirt. Okay, but are there other ways that you can maybe start dressing in a little bit of a different way that kind of helps you embody that best version of you? So once you've lost the weight, you've got the confidence, would you be walking a little bit straighter? Would you hold your head up a little bit higher? Would you be in the family photo? Like, start acting as if you have already done the thing, and you're going to start to trick your brain into thinking you've already done it. And then when we can do this, we are actually rewiring our brain. So then when we are faced with our choices, right, and we're like, I really want to eat this packet of mini eggs, or I'm going to wait until after my dinner because I know it's better for my glucose spike, or I'm going to weigh it out and have half the packet. that choice is all of a sudden going to be so much easier, because what we're doing with these things in the mind, and what I always talk about with the tapping and all this kind of stuff, meditating, visualization, meditations, is you're rewiring your mind and your identity, and you suddenly become this version of you who cares about her body, cares about fitness, is a fit person. So she will naturally choose the better option. You might still have the chocolate, but you might weigh it or have half the packet, or you might have it after dinner, like I said, to avoid the glucose spike. So those decisions are going to feel easier, no longer using willpower. So what are some ways that you can embody? When you're having conversations with friends, I want you to think about those conversations. When you're going for dinner, perhaps, have an apple before you leave the house, that you're slightly full before you go for dinner, so you don't overconsume just because you're around everybody else. We're easily influenced by the people we're around. That's why that saying exists, right? You become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. It's because we're easily influenced. We want to fit in with our friends, right? So if they're all ordering all the food and over consuming, you might want to do the same thing. However, you might get a signal from your brain halfway through that you're full, but you can't help yourself because you're around other people, especially if you're an empath. So how might she behave differently? How might she talk differently about her body? Perhaps somebody might say to her, or to me, and they might go, Emma, you look amazing. You just look so vibrant, so happy. I feel like you've lost loads of weight. And let's say I'm not happy with the weight loss because I'm not where I want to be yet. I might say, oh, thank you, but no, I've still got all this here and all this here. I'm still got so much further to go. No, she wouldn't, would she? She would hold herself higher and she would accept that compliment, and she would say, thank you so much for noticing. I'm really enjoying this process of working out what fuels my body, or I feel like I'm really making a ton of progress doing my steps every day. It's felt really good and I feel so much more energetic. That's how she would talk, right? Because think about a fitness person that or follow some fitness influencers on socials and see how they talk and act and show up, okay? If you're always hungry when you do the food shop, so you end up buying junk food, perhaps go when you've eaten, right? So you're more likely to make a logical choice about what food you want to eat. Maybe you're watching an influencer and you see that she batches her food. Okay, cool. What does this new version of Emma do that wants to have her dream body? I'm going to do what she's doing. I'm going to batch my food. Do you see how I'm just starting to act as if I'm already that person? You can do the same thing with money, with business, with everything, okay? Okay, and the last thing I'm going to give you is some very super practical advice. If you're watching this thinking, cool, Emma, but I don't actually know how to lose weight. Okay, the quickest way, hire a PT. Hire a PT, they're going to tell you exactly what to do. Find someone that you align with, find someone that understands, if you're a woman, that you have different phases in your hormones. The person that I worked with, I tracked my weight every day, and then we took the average for the week, which I loved. I also found this super interesting because my weight would fluctuate depending on what time of the month it was. So again, really interesting. The old me would have just weighed sporadically throughout the month, thinking I've gained 2 kilos, when likelihood is I've had a takeaway or it's time of the month. We also tracked my protein goals every day so that when I lost weight, I wasn't losing muscle. We tracked my calories every day based on my body weight and what I wanted to lose. And we tracked my water and my steps. So I basically just reduced my calorie intake. I increased my protein. I moved more and drank more water. And that was without going to the gym, and I lost 3.5 stone, okay? So it's possible. So you could work with a PT. I'll obviously link the guy I worked with. Second option is I have a membership, so you can be in there where there's a community and I talk you through everything in detail. I'll put the link in the bio, or in the description, sorry. And the other way is you can just start implementing these things. So move more, reduce your calories, increase your protein. Start following fitness influencers online, start following people who have done what you want, right? And listen to their advice and start implementing it. The only difference I would say with either getting yourself inside the community in the membership or working with a PT, or do both, my top recommendation would be to do both, is that you're going to get that support. You're going to get someone to tell you where you're going wrong and what you need more help with and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, comment below if you want more details. If you want me to go into more details about certain things, what you're not understanding, maybe you don't understand calories and why they're important, maybe you don't weigh your food, so maybe you want to explain why I weigh my food and how I do it and how I have suffered, eating disorders, but I'm still able to weigh my food. Let me know what else you want from me that's going to help you actually achieve your dream body this year in 2025. Cool. Thanks so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.